All right, we're live. All right. Okay, let's go bring up everything. Oh, this monitor is not on. Okay, so I need Google Chrome.
Who you betting on?
Let me see. Monday morning. We're live. Monday morning. Guess what? Dominic is there already.
Dominic.
Good morning, Dominic.
He was there waiting for us.
Yep, I think so. Yeah. Morning. Okay, that didn't pop up. How come? Gotta go find my other.
Dominic.
Okay, cool.
He is first.
Uh-oh. Okay, it's up now. Okay, cool. Why is that like that? Okay. Yeah, you're definitely first there this morning there, Dominic. Then.
I gotta get some fresh water for me.
Yeah, not a problem. What's her name? Kathy Good. Fred Hagen. Here comes Mr. Justin.
What's up, bud?
Hey, Russell there. He's number 2 this morning, and Wayne B. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. What are you up to this morning there, Justin?
Heading to work.
Yeah.
Where's Paul at? Out flying?
No, he's there. He just, I think he let me out or something there, so.
Good morning, Justin. Just giving Mia some fresh water.
Good morning.
June. By Elizabeth.
I was going to say, he needs to tell these ships to start coming up the river when around his schedule, not theirs.
Yeah.
Did you go online looking for a trike yet, Justin?
No, I can't afford that. Those things are.
Well, it's something to work towards, you know? Filipina, good morning. Wayne B, Russell.
No.
I want to say here in Florida, those things are going for about 20 grand, 30,000, somewhere in there. Like I said, they're expensive. Come on, get over it. You guys all want a place to get to the front.
Well, I don't know if they do that in Florida or not, but what you might do is plan next summer to rent one for a couple of weeks and see if you like it.
No, they do, because Ron rented one 2 years ago when we did the first drone meetup. He rented a bike down here. Yeah, there's that company that does the things where you can rent a bike from somebody privately and use it.
Oh,
You go through a company, but it's somebody's private bike, like their own bike. That's how Ron did it. He was actually driving somebody else's bike. It wasn't a company bike.
Filipina, good morning.
Probably a good little business to get into if you can afford to buy 2 or 3 nights, right? Just rent them through that company, those people.
Get what we got here.
yeah, probably would be a good thing. Because, people have these bikes sitting in their garages and they don't use them. It's like even Uncle Bill. He talks about he loves his bike, but I never hear about him using it much. Every once in a while. I think every once in a while he rides it up to his dad's house.
Yeah. And he rides it to the lodge, the Moose Lodge, I think he said.
Good morning, Marshall. Arizona Street Media is in the house. Marshall, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Marshall and Filipina and everybody. Also,
Paul is doing some bookkeeping.
yeah, just sitting there, just doing bookkeeping, watching, doing everything. You got to get this stuff caught up. So, York Street, Elmer. Trying to figure what, remember what that address was. Yeah.
Hey, Curtis is here. Yo, yo, yo. Curtis Dart.
Hey, good morning, Curtis.
Curtis, if you need a good, reliable person to fly, maybe you could work something out with Filipina. She's over there, I think. Didn't they say that she was close to where that project you're doing is? I don't know. But she flies very smooth.
Yeah, but do they require a certain drone for that job, though?
I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows? Curtis was just saying that he was looking. And David said that Filipina was in that area. Because Curtis was saying, well, how far away do you live from this location? David says, not about an hour and a half. He says, but I don't fly a drone.
Right, but I wonder if also, does it fall under commercial work, though?
Yeah, I think Filipina was working on her commercial for over there.
Yeah. There's only 2 people there would be over there that we know, actually 3 people would be Rob, her, and
Right.
license yet. I don't know if Laura's ever planning on doing it. I know Filipina was, but I don't know if Laura's ever planning on doing that. As long as they stay in the 250 or lower, they don't have to. So
Yeah. Yeah. Filipina puts in the chat, oh dear, not me, Paul.
well, if it's commercial work, though, to be honest, though, I don't even know if they let you use a mini SD. I don't even know if they let you use a mini 2.
I don't think in England there's restrictions on what you fly. It's just restrictions on licensing.
I'm saying what the company would want as far as like what drone they would want you to use. I don't think any of them would pick those.
But don't you think that that's gone by the wayside, because even the smaller drones now are even more capable and have just as good a camera as some of the big ones.
Right, but it was like Dre was saying, companies just don't. I don't know. When they look at a little mini drone, even the Mini 3, to them they just don't see its capabilities because of the size of it. It's like it gets stifled from its size. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's just, I think it's more of just a perceptual thing. They just see a tiny drone and they're like, oh, that thing can't do crap. So we want a Phantom 4, or you have to have a Pro 2 or something like that. That's kind of the way Dre was that was the way he was kind of explaining it. Which, I mean, you're completely right about that. I mean, you can do, there's been people who have done real estate with Mini 2s.
Oh yeah, and especially like in Paul's case, there's been times when the trees and everything are so thick, he wishes he had a little smaller drone for getting into tighter spots.
Yeah.
Now for like what?
Even the Air 2S it's not that much smaller than the Phantom. The Phantom don't pull up. It's got a big body, but it's not that much wider, really. Not a couple inches, right?
Filipina says in England, you need a license if you're doing commercial, no matter what the weight of the drone. Yeah, I know. It's not based on the drone. It's based on just licensing. They want to get their two reasons to do it. They want to make sure that you understand the rules and regs. And number two, they want to get their cut of the pie, through a license.
Well, it's the same as here. If you found some kind of niche that you could use a Mini 1 or Mini 2 in some kind of professional market, you'd still have to have a license.
Well, especially in residential areas, like gutter inspections or roof inspections, you don't need a big drone to be flying around in a residential area. You could do it with a Mini 3, a Mini 2.
Even a Mini SD or Mini 1 could do it, because that's 2.7K.
Yep.
I mean, that's still a high resolution.
Yep.
I mean, 2.7K can still take hell of video and pictures, no problem.
Yeah, and Filipina says that in the UK, if you're flying for pleasure below 250 feet and you're not using it for commercial, you don't need a license. $250 feet's kind of high. I mean, that's the height of the blue water bridges that I fly.
Like if Matt was to take the Mini 1 footage, you could make it look really, really good.
Yeah.
The only problem with the Mini 1 and the Mini 2's footage is when you just kind of shooting an auto, it kind of blows the sky out a little bit. It's not really good with getting that background on the sky.
Oh, Filipina also says that the sub 250s, like it is here, you can fly anywhere you want to fly.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, see, like here, the only difference that 250 makes is whether you got to register or not, which is only $5 for 3 years
What's the matter?
But over there, I think you can fly right next to an airport if it's not Mini 1 or Mini 2.
Yep. Dominic says in Australia, you can do commercial work. If you have an operator accreditation and public liability insurance, but to work with government departments and councils, you need a REPL,
Right.
which is the next
Yeah,
level up.
Yeah, I know all the rules over there. Matt explained those to me. Tons of that. But yeah, like, see, a lot of people get that misconception over here that if they buy a Mini 1 or a Mini 2 that, or even a Mini 3, that all of a sudden that they don't have to, in their mind, they don't have to follow the same rules and they don't have to register. When in reality, the only difference it makes is whether you want to spend $5 on registration. But you still have to take the trust test and you still have to abide by all the same rules as the Air 2 does. But I think a lot of people buy minis over here with the misconception that they don't have to follow the same rules.
Well, the problem is that retailers are not restricted in selling them without giving some kind of warnings to whoever's buying them to inform them of the rules of the road, you know?
Well, this is what I said many a times before too, is they need to make the trust test, I think, a little bit more extensive, where it takes, honestly, it should take you at least an hour to get through it. Not necessarily make it to where you can fail it, but make it to where you have to sit there for an hour and really get it burned in your brain, the rules. Then you should have to register, and then when you go to buy the drone at a retail store, they should ask you for that information where they can put it into a computer in the app. And it approves you instantly and says, yeah, they're good to go. And they can sell you the drone. That way you at least know, that way that you can't have that excuse of, well, I didn't know the rules when you go flying that Mini over, you know, some area you're not supposed to. You can't sit there and say, oh, I didn't know. Because the Mini, I mean, to be honest with you, the trust test is super easy. I mean, Kelsey pretty much went through it by herself. There was only a couple questions I had to help her with that she didn't understand the wording of it. Because it was like aviation jargon, you know, she didn't know what it meant. And so when I dumbed it down for her with a couple of questions, she knew exactly what the answers were. Because she'd always ask me when I was out flying, you know. She would ask me, well, how high can we go? And I'd always tell her the rules.
Hey, Dominic is joining us. Dominic said in the chat, he says that the DJI packaging over there has all the warnings and rules packed inside the box.
Yeah, because they probably require it over there. Some countries probably require that.
Hey, Dominic, how you doing?
Yeah, I got tired of typing, so I thought I'd get on. Now, as I said, when you purchase it, inside you've got all the documentation from CASA with all the rules. You got a little placard, you get a couple of posters, and it directs you to the CASA website, and it tells you go straight there, you register your drone, and then you go through the operator accreditation, which is, I think, 18 questions that you can actually get from a little booklet that they have as well. And the operator accreditation is basically the very basic level, and then you go up. You can go up the levels, but it becomes expensive to go up the levels if you want to get the full. If you want to get the full accreditation, meaning you can work with councils, government, and further up. That's how we do it down here. But to get to the highest level, it's going to set you back around $4,000.
Oh,
Yeah, that's only what, like 100? No, it's only over here. It'd be 200 if you wanted to buy a course. It'd be around 200, and then it would be 90. I think it's $80 or $90 now to take the test. It's a little cheaper. It used to be around 200, right, Paul?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
it'd be like
when I took my first test, quite a while ago, I had to go to an accredited flight training center, an FAA training center. You had to sit down at the computer. You were locked in the room. There was monitors watching you, and you couldn't take anything in there with you. And it was, I think, the first time around, it was $150. And if you didn't pass, and you wanted to come back like in 7 days, it was another $150.
Only like 80 or 90 now.
Yeah.
But the $200 courses, if you don't, they actually guarantee you to pass. Otherwise, they'll actually refund your money to you. Some of them.
Well,
If you don't pass.
I joined a flight course training. What's his name? Anyway,
Flight 101 or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I have
Bryson.
that, too. I
And,
just never
and
used it.
once you buy in, it's a permanent membership forever.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it a couple years ago, and I had the extra money, and I just never used it. But I have it.
You
I
have
ever
it. If
do.
you ever had a question, you can go to it because they're updating that stuff all the time.
All right.
But does the one that you have, does that have a kilogram rating?
No, it just gives you the right to do any kind of commercial work.
Okay,
Just covers-
because the one I was talking about, you can do everything up to 25 kilos.
Yeah, well, over here, if you get a Part 107, which is what we're talking about, a commercial.
Yep.
It's everything below 55 pounds.
Yeah, which is about 25 kilos. Yeah.
Yes. If you want to go more than that, then that's a commercial drone advanced license, and I don't have any details on that.
That's
Yeah,
probably
that's
where
like-
I'm talking about.
That's like just another kind of like certificate on your 107.
Right.
Just add it to your
Hmm.
107.
A lot.
Yeah.
It expands your weight you can carry. In other words, like let's say you wanted to carry a load and do a delivery or lift something or whatever with one of those great big huge quadcopters or hexacopters, you'd have to have that license.
Because I'd say everything I've done is you actually can make NOTAMs to CASA as well. So you can actually block out, you can do, I think you can do temporary flight restrictions as well in that qualification you get, because you go, your first level is remote pilot's license, your second is remote owner certificate, which means you become the pilot in charge and you employ other REPL pilots.
Right.
And then the next one up is the aeronautical radio owner certificate, where you can actually speak to traffic control and speak to CASA on a higher level. And then you can get that sort of qualification so you can actually do all the work yourself. And that's a pretty expensive exercise, because on top of that, you need the public liability insurance for everything, plus a $20 million cover. And that's another $1,000 on top of that.
And I think, don't you have to be a licensed radio operator too?
That's what the AROC is for. Yeah. You get the qualification for the radio craft as well.
Yeah.
That's the next level up. And then one more level up, you become just actually get a small commuter license. That's the next level up.
Yeah, I don't even think I know anybody that has that advanced one on the 107, because
I don't know anybody that does it either. No.
That's somebody that, those pilots are a lot rarer. You don't run across too many people that do the big.
Now, I used to carry out in the field a portable handheld air radio, just for monitoring. I never transmitted on it or whatever,
Yeah.
but monitoring the airwaves.
Yeah, that's a good way, because then you know what traffic's around,
Yeah,
Well,
and then
over
you
here
can
too.
listen, and then you listen to that, so you know if there's any helicopters or any other traffic around.
good morning, Laura. Laura says good morning, or she says good morning to Paul, and Dominic, and then she says, oh, hi, twat.
See,
Hey,
that's
good
why they
morning.
built, but that's
Hey,
why they built that system to be able to request authorization, because the airports were getting pissed off every time one of the drone pilots would call them. They don't like when you call them anymore.
Well, here we're basically lepers. We basically are the skateboarders of the air, and people look down at you when you actually
Oh,
say,
yeah,
"Oh, I've
regular
got a drone or
pilots.
a drone pilot."
Regular pilots don't see you as a pilot.
Yeah, I know. We've been through this discussion before. You know, people say drone pilot, and then other pilots get annoyed when you use the word pilot.
Yeah.
But if you're in charge of a vehicle that is in the air, then that definition would therefore be a pilot.
Yeah.
If you're piloting something,
Well,
you are a pilot.
I got a kick out of, I was down along the river and I was flying, and there was a guy, a couple of cars over, came over, started talking to me, and he was curious. He was in the Air Force, and he was an actual Air Force drone pilot in Colorado. They used to fly the big drones over all over the world, you know?
Things like the Global Hawk and the bigger ones.
You know, sit with a console, you know, and the whole bit. And shoot,
Yeah.
fire the rockets.
That's the 150 kilo and above category.
Yeah.
And that's expensive. You've got to go through various testings.
That's why
I've actually looked at it.
That's why over here, all of those guys usually get their certification and stuff through military service. Yeah.
Well, those guys, I would say, are closer to a regular pilot than we'd be, only for the.
But you know what he said to me? He said to me, even on the base, Justin, he says it's like you're a cool kid, but you're not part of the group. You know, you're.
Well, see, then that's bullshit too, because they're flying a virtual cockpit.
Yeah.
They're sitting there with joysticks controlling a freaking, 2,000-3,000 pound drone, probably more than that. Some of those Reaper drones are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to say they're not a real pilot just because they're not sitting in a cockpit, an actual cockpit.
Yeah,
seat.
he said that there's always this undercurrent about, well, you don't have a helmet on, you don't know how to fly inverted, you don't know how to pull the G's, you don't have that G suit on, you know.
And but see, that's the thing is, even if you were flying a drone, most of them don't fly faster than, most little small prop planes do. They don't go that fast. They only go at like 500-600 miles an hour.
Right.
And not super fast. I mean, then that's the little prop ones. I think like the not the Reapers, because I think the Reapers have the jet engine on them. I think one of them has a jet engine, but most of the prop ones, I would say, probably don't go over 450 miles an hour at the most. They're not
But
like
the Reaper jets will do pretty good speed. I think they go 700-800 miles an hour.
But then you also have like the RQ 170 Sentinel. That's the one that looks like the mini B1 or B2 bomber. It looks like the B2 stealth bomber.
That'll be fun.
But to say they're not actual pilot, they're closer to an actual real pilot than we would be, because they're sitting in a virtual cockpit, literally. They're sitting in a chair with 2 or 3 screens in front of them, and they're with your actual joysticks controlling a real huge, plane-sized drone in the air. Some of these drones are bigger than a 4-seater plane is.
Mm.
But I understand too why pilots, get a little offensive at it, because they do a lot of work to get where they're at.
Mm.
So
Yeah, there is
I can see both
there is
sides.
a heap of paperwork for that.
Like I can see the argument on both sides, right? Like I can understand because they go through a lot of training
Yep.
and they have to actually fly an actual plane and get inside of it. So I understand both sides of the argument. But like you said, if you're controlling anything in the air, you're a pilot to a certain extent.
Mm. Yeah, if
So-
you're piloting something, then by virtue of the fact you are a pilot.
'Cause I was
It's,
asking.
it's semantics. We can. Yeah.
Well, I was
But
asking Doc. I was asking Doc Murdoch. He does FPV, but he's an actual pilot too, and he'll tell you not a lot of pilots like drones. He said that. He goes, "I'm one of the rare ones that flies drones too." But he actually owns a hangar with planes and all that stuff. He's a pilot.
Mm. But I think it's semantics. And when you look at it, I think some of them are arguing from a different point of view. But if you're in charge of something, then if you're operating something, then you're piloting it. If you're piloting someone, then it's a pilot. You know,
Right.
we could,
Like
we could talk about this till we go blue in the face.
Oh yeah, like I said, I understand both sides of the argument.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, it's like you're never going to convince either side that they're in the wrong.
Yeah.
But I would say a drone pilot in the military is way closer to what we would consider a traditional pilot.
It probably depends, and it depends on the size of the drone too. If you've got one of the really big UAV drones, then you're probably more of a pilot because you're actually doing more from the virtual part of it than just sitting there and pushing a few little sticks. Because if you've got a massive console, then you could probably state that you're piloting it rather than operating it.
Right, because you got to call air traffic control. Like if these pilots are flying their drones and practicing around the United States, they got to contact the FAA, traffic control, just like a regular pilot. They got to be on the radio constantly.
Hey,
I'm saying there's a lot.
Paul, check the chat, Paul.
Who's in the chat?
Curtis put in there.
What did Curtis say?
Curtis put in there. He put Justin is a drone twat, right, Laura?
Drone glide.
Hey, Laura, good to see you.
Is it though? Is it?
But I do think that we can come up with fairly creative names. But at the same time, we're still doing the same thing regardless of what name we call it.
Yeah.
If you're in charge of something, then you are piloting it. So,
Yeah. Well, the other interesting thing over here is if you are a licensed pilot in charge, not like a 107 pilot, or even, I think, correct me if I'm not correct in this, I don't know, but I think if you're the pilot in command and you have somebody else that wants to fly and you feel comfortable with them flying, as long as you're standing next to them and able to take over control, it's legal because the person that's flying is the licensed pilot.
Right. I can fly.
Yeah.
I can do commercial work if you're just there with me. So,
Yeah.
so like if Paul Hodges had a 107 equivalent where he lives, if he wanted to hire some kid to do the job and he was just kind of there, throwing the sign out, doing his little thing around the house while the kid was flying, then technically he'd be covered. If it was in the United States, I don't know about Canada. But yeah, as long as you're a licensed pilot, I can do the work if you're there.
Paul, you have that over there, don't you?
Well, but see, you can do commercial work on a basic pilot's license over here in Canada. You can do aerial. The only thing that the advanced one does is that you can fly in control zones for for aircraft and stuff. That's the only difference. Like,
Hey,
Hello, Ron.
Ron is in the
Hello, Ron.
hey, Ron,
Morning.
And another person that we can
top of the
get an opinion from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron. I know that you're looking like you're ready to hit the road.
Yep. Here it is.
You know, when you first came on, you have your visor up, and it looked like you had McDonald's sign mounted on the front of your visor.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? We are in Cody,
Good.
Wyoming. I don't know how. I'm gonna try and I don't know how much you'll be able to see, but we're gonna start heading west into the east gate of Yellowstone this morning. Plans have changed all weekend. So today's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday we were supposed to go up on Beartooth Pass, and it just was pouring down rain. Well, obviously, yeah, I talked to you guys yesterday morning. We went up yesterday morning. Oh my God, gorgeous up there.
Yeah.
That went well. And then these guys wanted to go into Yellowstone, and I'm like, I don't know about the timing. And I think they finally realized that we're not going to have enough time to get home. So we actually found a hotel at a fairly decent price. And so this morning it's 6:30 here. We got a little breakfast. It's the only place open. But we're going to go into the East Gate, and they want to go up to one of the ranger stations and get their national park stamp. And a lot of people collect the book.
Sure.
And so we'll do that, do a little tour, but I'd like to start heading back home about noon, 1 o'clock. And then we're going to go up over the west side of the Bighorn Mountains up around Sheridan, Wyoming, which is the same mountains that we came up from my house, but it's on the west side, and it's a whole different scenery. A couple neat waterfalls I want to show them, and
Now you're not going to go anywhere as near Sturgis, I take it.
we're gonna be back home late this afternoon, this evening, and but tomorrow I'm gonna go into Sturgis probably.
Oh boy, it looks like they're having a hell of a time, Ron.
You know, they, like I said, they came here and they said, you know what, yeah, we want to go to Sturgis, but they want to see the scenery here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know.
Well, I would say Sturgis, Ron, is a pleasant side trip.
Yeah.
I saw that Ron, didn't you post a 360 video yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
Pictures, yeah.
Sarah was showing me like the 360 video thing or whatever.
Yeah, the 360 picture.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, that's so beautiful up there."
That was up there at Beartooth Pass, yeah.
Yeah, she really liked that.
Hey,
Yeah, it's a
Ron,
little
I was
different.
telling Justin, because he was saying he can't afford a bike. I said, well, you should rent a bike or a trike or whatever,
I did that in Florida. I rode
Yeah,
with Tony.
That's what I was telling them. If you want to explain how that works.
Yeah, it's called Twisted Road. Twisted. It's a. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, I just lost my. Uh-oh. Hold on. You guys hear me?
We see you, but we can't hear you.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's got a phone call.
Oh, okay. Justin's gone too.
Oh yeah, he's losing everybody today.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. I'm just listening. I just muted myself.
Oh, okay. Because you went black and then it was muted, so we didn't know if you were there or not.
Yeah, I was just listening. I wouldn't have much background noise.
There, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Let me. Oh shoot! Now I lost the video. Shoot. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're still here. We can hear you, but we can't. No video.
Hold on. Let me get back to Zoom.
Sure.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin. It's called Twisted Road. And
Twisted Road.
You go through the company, and they have a list of bikes in whatever area you're going to be at, and then you got to apply. The owner has to approve you, the owner of the motorcycle. And the more riding experience you have, the better chance you're going to have. I'm going to try and turn this phone sideways, guys.
Okay, there you
You'll
go.
get a better view. I don't know how long I'll have you. Like I said, we're going to start heading west.
Well, it looks like you're going to have a good time, Ron.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Is it? You got your heavy duty jackets on and stuff. Is it chilly there?
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly, not too bad. But on the west side of town, and that's what I'm hoping the phone will show you is the mountains that'll be coming up behind me. They're just huge. Guys, even, it's been a while since I've been to that East Gate. I was even shocked yesterday. Sorry for the background noise. I don't know if you can hear it.
No, we cannot hear. We can't hear the bike at all.
Well, hey, I'll stay with you till I'll probably lose you in that tunnel. That tunnel we go through is pretty big. I'm sure I'll lose some, but then not far out of town, I'll lose you.
So there's just the three of you on bikes, right?
Yeah. See who's going where. All set? Well, as we say out west, giddy up, cowboy.
Giddy up.
All right, here we go. If it gets too noisy, Paul, go ahead and mute me or shut me down.
We don't hear anything, just your voice.
Good. It's going to be perfect. We're heading west, and the sun will be at our backs. Unfortunately, not right now. Oh, God, that's great.
You could definitely have blue skies.
Oh, my God, yeah, it's gorgeous out.
Yeah, I'd much rather be doing that right now than my damn work.
Yeah, I can see Sarah and Justin riding out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would be the one riding because Sarah couldn't even ride my 50cc scooter without running it into the neighbor's bushes. She drove that thing right into their bushes and just completely ate shit. And it was automatic too. She just hit the gas, man. That thing took off on her. Like when we went four-wheeling up in Dumont, about 8 or 9 years ago, I was on a Raptor, which is a fast four-wheeler, off-road four-wheeler. And she was on a little automatic Yamaha, and she was just putzing along. Man, I was hauling ass about 80, 90 miles an hour across the flat.
Mama deer and her 4 little fawns came running across the road. She had 4 fawns.
4 fawns with her. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that one of your buddies behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Both of them are behind him.
It's the best I can angle this phone.
Hey, Ron, I was going to ask you a question about Sturgis.
Yeah.
Does the city have some kind of rule about like the 1%er clubs wearing their colors and all that in town?
Yeah, they have a. Hold on, guys. I hear sirens. I guess. Oh, okay. They're out in front of me.
So they do have a rule about wearing colors and stuff?
Yeah, they don't want it worn, and they very much discourage it. And sorry for the sirens.
Oh, they're real low. You can barely hear them.
Well, it sounds like you're getting an escort.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I figured they would have some kind of city ordinance or something against that.
Yeah. I don't know how strictly they enforce it. Some establishments there, you know, if you come packing in there with all your colors, they're like, no, get out. Yeah, that sun is going to blind you guys. You probably won't be able to see crap here.
Yeah, they. I just saw a video this morning, yesterday at the Buffalo Chip, and I was thinking of you.
Oh yeah, they say everything that happens at the Buffalo Chip is pretty much everything that happens in town.
Now that's out of town, right?
What's that?
The Buffalo Chip is
Yeah.
just right on the outskirts there.
They actually consider themselves their own little town or own little city
Oh,
with their own zip code. Yeah, it's a campground. I don't know how he did it. But
yeah.
he did it. The owner.
Now, what exactly is the Buffalo Chip?
It's probably the largest outdoor bar.
It's like a Walmart on steroids, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah. We just passed by the Wild Bill Cody Gun Museum. It is freaking unbelievable. I was in there for 6 hours and never got through all the guns.
Wow.
Amazing. I'd like to go back in there again sometime. And they say that Cody is the rodeo capital of the world. They actually have a rodeo here every night in the summer.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's a half decent sized town. Very clean. Very nice. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to see too much. I can barely see them. I'm being blinded by the sun a little bit behind me.
I need to do a walkthrough video for Tim at a Wawa so he can see what they look like, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember having gas stations and all that.
Well, over here, JD was asking his uncle has a private pilot's license. yes, they have to get a qualification, but it isn't much. I think it's it's a certification that's added to his pilot's license. Not that too many pilots that I know want to have a UAV certification on their private pilot's license, but
Well, that's what I was saying. Doc Murdoch, FPV. I don't know if you guys know him. I know
Yeah.
Ron knows who he is.
Yeah.
Doc Murdoch, he even said he's one of the very few pilots that actually flies drones. He said a lot of pilots do not like drones.
yeah.
He said they're a very tight knit community as far as they're all about planes, and that's it.
Well,
I asked him about that one night when he was on Bill's show. I haven't seen much of Doc lately. He used to be on Bill's show all the time.
He was on Bill's last week.
Well,
Oh,
I
was
think
he?
he's been busy. I think
I
he
spoke to him
moved or
last
something,
week.
and he was out.
Go ahead, Ron. What?
I said, I think Doc moved or bought a new house. He's doing all these remodeling. He's
Yeah.
pretty busy with that. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he was doing renovations the last time I spoke to him.
Yeah, Doc's a good guy. He's a really
Yeah.
good guy.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, he used to come into everybody's chats all the time, but yeah, he's been the last like 6-8 months, man. He hasn't seen much of him. He's been really busy.
Wow, what a beautiful morning. I'm feeling about a half hour we'll be shedding some jackets. So once I get around this turn up here, hopefully you'll be able to see some of the sides of some of these mountains in the background behind me. Holy crap.
Hmm.
Oh, it looks like one of Matt's videos behind you, a blown out sun.
Sun flares.
And I have a feeling as soon as I enter this, I'll probably lose you.
Now, Ron, how many miles is it that before you get to Yellowstone?
Like 52, something like that. Right around 50 miles.
Well, you'll probably see quite a bit of wildlife as you go then, right?
That's what we're hoping. Getting out at this time of morning, so I told the guys that that's when you're going to see wildlife. As soon as it starts to get warm, they go back in the woods. Here we are. Now we're coming into these mountains.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's two kinds of wildlife that is interesting to watch there. One is the wildlife that you're going to see today, and the other one is Tuesday, the wildlife you're going to see at the meetup.
Yeah. This one up here, Paul, on my left, it's got to be 1,000 feet right above them.
Oh, wow.
So these guys, the one thing that made me happy, they said, Ron, they said, everything you've talked about, they said, seeing this was well above our expectations. So that made me happy. You still with me?
Yep.
Okay.
We're just catching the view from your rear view mirror.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Now that he went around that mountain, he's got a nice view of blocking that sun.
Yeah, you can kind of see the silhouette.
Yep. Now, what elevation are you at right now without the mountains?
What's that, Paul?
What's your elevation without the mountains?
I think we're around 6,000.
6,000 feet. Okay.
Yeah. All right, here comes the first tunnel.
Tunnel through the mountain. Yep. Oh, we got you. We can see the tunnel now behind you.
Yeah, here comes the big one where I'm probably going to lose you.
And he's gone. We
He's
got to
out.
see the tunnel for a second.
Be interesting to see if it picks him up on the other side.
It should, because it should just sit there and do the wheel of death there until he gets to the other side. Because usually it gives you about a minute before it completely kicks you out of the app, or completely kicks you out of Zoom.
Just depends about how long that tunnel is.
Yeah, I don't know. He said it was pretty big, so.
Yep, he's gone.
And he's out.
Usually normally I'll get about a minute, and then it will usually kick me completely out.
Yeah, that was about 40 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah, made it. I don't know how much longer I'll keep you.
Well, we caught about, I don't know, 8 feet of the tunnel, and then you were out.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Big lake here. Yeah, I wish I could turn it.
Ron, what you need to do is get you a camera set up like Dre's got, where you can mount a few different cameras at different angles on your bike.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be really cool.
Either
Or you could
that, or
switch
wouldn't
the
it be
camera.
nice if they invented or offered you a wireless gimbal that would mount on the bike and you could just have a little thumb joystick and just move it around?
Well, I wonder. They do have, I mean, the DJI cameras do that, but I don't know if they could handle wind past 30, 40 miles an hour without messing the gimbal up, though. But I mean, that system that Dre has is pretty nice. Like, you can set it, I think he said you could set it to where it would automatically like switch the cameras by themselves, and it's all wireless. And it comes with like 4 cameras, I think.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be the way to do some vlogging on some bike. Have like 3 or 4 cameras mounted in different spots on your bike to where it could auto switch. That'd be really cool. But that system that Dre got wasn't cheap neither. I want to say it was what, like $500 or $600 he paid for it used. I think it's like 800 new, I think he said. But if you're doing a lot of riding, I'd say it'd be worth the system set up like that. You could really get some cool angles of riding.
Gonna be coming into grizzly territory here pretty quick.
Grizzlies? All right.
Hoping we see one this morning. It's early and fairly cool, so there's a chance they'll be out feeding.
Well, it's not too bad here this morning. It's only 81 out right now. Not too bad. It's already what, 9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 o'clock and it's 75 here.
I'm sure it's probably going to get up in the mid to high 80s here in the next couple hours. We got a lot of those thin, kind of just overcast clouds everywhere, so it's kind of blocking the sun out a little bit, so it's not getting too hot.
Sweet.
But it does look like there's some storm clouds coming in. There's storm clouds all around me on the outskirts of the city. Oh man, I need this freaking Prilosec to kick in. This fucking heartburn is killing me. Freaking woke up last night at like 3 o'clock this morning. Freaking threw up a bunch of acid. Whew. Stomach's hurting. Yeah, you can't hear nothing on Ron's mic.
Mm.
That thing, that noise cancellation on that helmet's really good. You don't hear anything. You don't hear no wind, no bike, nothing.
Yeah, it's amazing how well that works.
Yeah. Like I said, you don't hear any wind or anything. It's just silent. when you're
Night
not talking.
Train answered the question on the pilot. Says for people who already hold a pilot certificate issued under 14 CFR Part 61, you simply need to complete the FAA's online course, which will take you about 2 hours to complete. However, you also have to have completed your previous review within the last 24 months.
Guys, I'm going to stop, take a picture, and I'm going to give you a view of the lake, and then I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay. All right, Ron.
Yeah, and a normal pilot shouldn't have any problems taking that test. They should know all that stuff. An experienced pilot would know all those questions. So that would be easy for them to burn through that test. When you're brand new to flying and you're studying it.
Can you guys,
Oh, yeah, look at there. That's quite a lake.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's nice. I really like that.
the lake comes right out of Cody.
Oh, yeah. Man, I could sit right there on the edge of that water all day and just relax.
Well, anyhow, guys, have a great day.
Okay. Ron, you have a good ride, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, take care.
Okay,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fun he is.
I'll tell you, man, Ron's gone to some really, really beautiful play areas, that's for sure. I can't wait to see some stuff from his Alaska trip. That's going to be cool.
Beach. Yeah.
That's one of the only 2 states that in Hawaii I haven't been to yet. I'd love to fly my drone in Hawaii, man. Get up over some of those volcanoes and those different areas. I wonder how much of the rural area in Hawaii, though, is actually, I bet you a lot of that, majority of it's probably considered national parks, ain't it? Like where the volcanoes and all that are.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have flown over certain volcanoes in Hawaii, but I don't know if all of them are.
Well, it's always best, especially in a federal park situation or even any park situation, is to check in with the rangers.
Right.
because you don't need a confrontation.
Yeah, I'd love to get some shots, an overshot of like an active volcano. That'd be really cool.
Mm.
Get 200-300 feet. I mean, you want to get pretty high over it because.
Yeah, those idiots, you've seen them where they fly right through the lava shooting up in the air.
Right. Well, that's the thing too, is those, even if you're 30-40 feet above lava, man, that shit is throwing off thousands of degrees in heat. I mean, you're talking so much heat, you'd want to be at least a couple 100 feet over without risking hurting your drone. An FPV drone would probably be better for flying low over it because it's going so fast that it might not have time to, I guess, heat up if you went and did a really fast, quick shot over top of it. But
Well, somebody was pre-recording and they did a dive bomb right into a volcano.
Mm.
But I definitely wouldn't be doing no cruising over with like a Mini 2 or Air 2 at slow speeds. That's for sure. Your drone's liable to be melted by the time it gets back to you if you even made it back to you.
Not a lot going on as here on the water.
It's pretty quiet there, Paul.
Pretty quiet. Pontonac is way up by Croswell, headed downbound.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of FPV pilots out there that would risk losing a FPV drone over to get some good footage.
Mm. Yep, you got to do it all for the clout.
Yep.
I'd say, yeah, I'm sure some of them would be risking to lose one just to get that really cool shot diving down into a volcano.
Mm.
So
but
Paul,
you'd have to have that video transmitting back to your phone or
yeah.
whatever you're using too, because you wouldn't be recovering that.
Paul, what's your plan today? You got to go up and get that up there, or what?
What's that?
The sign you got to do, or the
Oh,
pole?
I'm not going today. No.
Oh, okay. Up at Woodstock, isn't it, or is it
No, Grand Bend.
Grand Bend? Yeah. That's a hike. Did you say, is it raining there, Paul, or is it clear?
No, it's clear right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it just clouded up here. We had a little bit of sunshine, but it's not raining here yet.
Why am I not able to? We're unable to connect to the email server for your email provider. Oh. Why isn't? Just gonna have to text the agent. For some reason, I can't get into his email. Everybody else went, but his.
Have you gotten any updates on your brother, Paul?
All I know is either today or tomorrow they're going to send him over to London to get the stent removed. See, the specialist they got in St. Thomas, he's gone on holidays apparently, so they don't have anybody in St. Thomas, so they got to ship him over to London. So.
He's pretty much in bed right now, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he called me last night, eh?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, last night I was over my buddy Wayne's there having coffee with him, and anyways, all of a sudden my phone rang. It was my brother. And I went, whoa, he just wanted to let me know how he was doing, but Well, I said Diane's been keeping me up to date, but it was good to hear from him. He sounded good.
Good.
Yeah.
They figure out why he passed. Didn't you say he passed out the other day or something?
Yeah, he got sepsis, which is, he had high
Like an
fever,
infection.
all that stuff. But they put a stent in, and they figured the stent causing an infection.
Yeah, sepsis ain't nothing to mess with, man. That can be dangerous.
Oh, no. He was up to, what is it, 40 degrees or something Celsius, which is 104 or something, his temperature.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think when you get past 106, that's when it gets really, really bad, right? I think that's when you're kind of pushing the envelope of like,
Yep.
where they almost have to ice bath you at that point.
Yeah.
I think it's 106 is when you start hallucinating and stuff.
Yeah. Mhm. But they got it back down. It was down almost normal there last night. But they're still trying to figure out, it keeps going up and down, right? So.
I don't think I've ever had a temperature higher than, I think 103, 104 is about the highest I've ever had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't good, that's for sure. Yarko. RT. Farmelgan.ca.
Yeah, hopefully they can get rid of that infection because that, like I said, that sepsis ain't nothing to mess with.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike says sunsets in Sweden flew right over a volcano while it was active. With his Mini 2.
Yeah, see, if it was like shooting lava in the air, I probably wouldn't fly over it with a drone like that. Maybe an FPV drone, because like I said, you could get going fast enough to where I don't think the heat would really affect it that quick. But I don't know, Mini 2 or Air 2, you're talking top speed 36, 42 miles an hour. Not very quick. I just would like to fly over like some of the lava flows and stuff, get a couple 100 feet above those. Just get some cool shots of those.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of active volcanoes and there's quite a few of them in Hawaii, but they're not like, it's usually just lava flows more than anything, and they're not like complete eruption where they're just making devastation. It's just constant lava flows. Because the fucking Hawaii's getting, I want to say they're getting a few thousand acres every year added to the island from all those lava flows. Mike, I'm gonna ask Mike because he's in the chat. He was just talking about that. Wasn't that the Sweden volcano that blew up while there was like a couple hundred tourists on the island?
It was Iceland, wasn't it?
Oh, that was Iceland. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy, man. All the people that were on the boats that got on the boats, and then there were still like a couple hundred people on the island when it blew up.
Yeah.
And it completely covered that whole island. I mean, there was no safe place to go. I was just watching that video, that little documentary about that on YouTube about a week or two ago. That was crazy. All these people from the boat had to sit there and watch that. I was like, man.
Damn dog.
What's that?
What? I pulled the plug out of my computer. I was sitting there working away. I'm gone. So hopefully all my invoicing is okay. It, I'm gonna minimize that for a minute. Hopefully everything's okay on my invoicing. Jesus, just everything went. I was in there working away, and poof, gone. Like what the hell? Oh, that right.
Just your monitor cable.
No, we're plugged into the wall underneath my
Power.
thing here. Yeah, power cord. Hopefully I didn't lose everything.
Was it Vader or
Of course, see, of course.
okay.
Well, you shouldn't have lost everything because you're still on the live with us. Or is that
Well,
a different computer?
I went off.
Well, he popped off for a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to reboot everything here, so
I didn't even notice, to be honest with you.
everything's still there. Okay, cool. Okay, so I got to do an email. I got to change this. Just got a thing back from an agent on his email, and I had the wrong one. I'm just getting ready to put it in there. And okay. W. Okay. EBRIES. Elgin. W. Elgin at Gmail. Oh, can't even spell it now. At gmail.com. Oh, okay. Now I'm wondering if I have to re-put all this in now. Oh, yeah.
Dominic, what's on your
password.
plan for the day?
H0D3X. Okay. Message was sent successfully. Okay. You're all gone. Invoices. Oh, I didn't do as well this month. Well, I made yeah. So it made about $1,800. So. Oh shit. I got more than that to do. I haven't done Doug Terry yet. I forgot all about that. Huh? Okay, there's $600 right there, Doug Terry. So now I'm up to 2,400. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna say something just don't seem right. Doug Terry's. Oh. No. Okay, that was clean the ribs. Okay, now we got to figure out Doug Terry's all the ones I did. I think there was 19 signs there, Paul.
Oh boy.
But the problem is, I got to list them all.
Oh, you can't copy and paste?
I can't just go. Well, no, it's just I haven't put them in yet, right? Because it's in my phone. I wish I could just transfer it from my phone, right? So
You can't?
no. Nope, that's his name. I can't remember. There they are. Okay.
Dominic's about ready to turn in.
Yeah, it seems that way, yeah.
I feel you. I'm sitting back here thinking, boy, a nap would be nice right now.
Mm. Well, as long as I go to bed a bit earlier than last night. Last night, 2.5 hours later than tonight. So
Yeah.
anything before that is a bonus.
I
Paul ain't
hope-
even made it till 9:30 and he's ready for a nap.
Yep. I'm ready for a nappy.
Actually, there was 4 more that I did, so I actually did 23 songs for them. Forgot about those ones. So 4, that was the original. Victory Lane.
Hey.
Well, I think I'm going to call it, Paul.
Yeah.
Great idea.
It's kind of dull, and I'm getting a little tired, and I can see it in Dominic's face. He's getting
Yeah,
tired.
yeah, great idea.
So everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again later, and stay safe and have a great day.